Good afternoon, everybody. I want to say that it's been a great pleasure to be here with you. Thank Canal for organizing this event. This is a rich experience, all the debates and presentations, and it's always good to be here in Cuiabá because it's a region that exhales dynamism, it exhales growth, entrepreneurship, and just by chance today, I heard a news that one of our institutions just published the unemployment index of Brazil, and they said that our youngsters from 18 to 24 years old, and here in Mato Grosso, it's the lowest unemployment rate of the country, 4 times lower than other countries that have a high rate of unemployment. That's very important for the population. We also have the second best salaries in Brazil. And so that shows that we are able to generate jobs and opportunities, especially to the youngsters. Just to talk a little bit about Crop Life, we are part of a network, a global network. Here are the Crop Lives that are part of a council where we discuss themes such as market access, commercial barriers, communication, regulation. And so today, here in Brazil, 4 different sectors which are extremely relevant to technology: seeds, biotechnology, chemical defensives, and bioinputs. To which we're absolutely sure we need to look into these technologies as a holistic form, as a complementary form, so we grow out of the era of or and getting in the era of and, the addition of the technologies. They complement each other. And as a final result, we hope gaining productivity and bigger sustainability. Crop Life is composed by 53 companies, 23 companies associated to the producers. And these are the companies that produce bioinputs here in Brazil. Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, about the challenges that we have nowadays in the world. We've got the population growth, 30% of the population in a situation of severe food insecurity, growth, population growth in the next 25, that will be 25% higher in the next 25 years, which will demand increase of 35% in the production of food, and also an increase of 50% in the energy consumption. And to add to all that, we need to oversee this demand. We need to relieve the ecosystem over this pressure and also work on mitigating global warming. And with that, we know that we need to start using new technologies, regenerative agriculture, and optimizing the process of production. So in Brazil, we have all of that. And this is what we've been seeing the last decades. And we still need to advance even more in this tripod of productivity, gain, and sustainability. Well, in relation to regenerative agriculture, today we still don't have a definition that's accepted by many different countries. So we try to create a sort of concept that would help us understand a little bit better this term of regenerative agriculture. And with the help of AgroEconomy, we created this concept, which is integration of agriculture that would promote the growth of production under difficult climate conditions, at the same time that we need to reduce the emissions and restore the degradation of forests and strengthen the ways of subsistence and practices centered in producers. And as we see this challenge of regenerative agriculture, which promotes soil health and increased productivity. Now, looking at the biologicals in this context of regenerative agriculture, we have a series of benefits that biologicals can bring. First, the improvement of health of the soil, promote microbial fertility and diversity, optimization of inputs, climate resilience, helping the agricultural regeneration, to improve resilience to climate challenges, nutrient cycle that make it easier to break down the composition organic, optimize the cycle of nutrients in the soil. Well, this is a phenomenon that's happening in a way as a whole in the world. Today, we have the market in the order of 13 to 15 billion dollars in the whole world, and a perspective of growth which is very accelerated for the next years. We could triple this value in the next 10 years. Today, the United States and Europe are still the ones who use most of these products, but Brazil is also already the third, and soon we should overcome the other countries, since we have one of the highest rates of utilizations of these products. Actually, from all parts of EU, biological uses is restricted to smaller productions. In Brazil, we have a laboratory in which we can reutilize biologicals in agriculture of large scale. And another thing that's very important is that today we depend on the import of different inputs, different agricultural inputs, and maybe the biologicals, it might be the only case in which we can become a great platform of exportation to different regions of the world, especially the ones of tropical climate. So in Brazil, we grow from a low impact agriculture, and we offer an alternative, a viable alternative to a more sustainable market. So let's look at the Brazilian market. We've had in the last crop, in the last harvest, a growth of 15%. We generated around 5 billion reais, which means $1 billion that we represent in the market. But if we look at the last 3 years, we've had an average annual growth of 21%, which is 4 times more than the rest of the world is growing. We are growing at a 4 times higher rate than the rest of the world. So this is a first cut. We can see that biologicals for control of pests and diseases, we can use different pesticides and fungicides, bioinoculants, and so on. Another example of the crops that have demanded more biologicals, so soybean, corn, sugarcane, cotton bean, coffee, citrus, represent only 6% of the market. Here in another slide, the level of utilization per state in Brazil. So Mato Grosso uses a third of the bio inputs, the agricultural inputs in Brazil. Today, we represent a about a third of the planted area in Brazil. And if we compare biologicals and chemicals, the biologicals already have a participation around the 12%. Let's talk a little bit about public policies because it's extremely important to generate the incentives so that investments keep flowing. One of them has been talked about. We've been working a lot developing mechanisms of incentive to a more sustainable culture where biologicals fall within this characteristic. And something else that's important is the regulatory that gives the needed predictability to the industry. And today we also have a discussion inside our Congress that should approve the law plan that should approve and will give us legal security so that investments can keep flowing. And finally, we have been seeing as factors of growth. First, clearly, the professionalization and expansion of industry, allowing the generation of new formulas and technologies. And this has been part of a package of integrated management that increases the sustainability of the producer, that generates an increase of uh, adhesion to these technologies by other producers. And as the adhesion of the producers is stimulating uh, this cycle of professionalization of the industry and so on. And this is where I stop. We'll come back for our debate. Thank you.